If you keep losing in Madden 26 because your pass defense is trash or people are running right through your defensive line, this is going to be the only Madden video you need to watch this week. I'm breaking down 5 secret defensive tricks that are going to have you dominating your next game. I've won my last 9 CFN games using these, and I won a $2,000 tournament, so all these tips are going to work regardless of your skill level, and you don't want to miss out on any of them. Let's jump right into it. The first thing you need to make sure you're doing is stopping the offensive meta right now. Let me show you exactly how to slow down halfback direct snap. Alright, so halfback direct snap, obviously from Y off trips. What we're going to do to slow this down is you're going to come into nickel 3-3 cub. You can come to 4-3 even 6-1, or if you have 3-5 penny in your defense. So one of those three, although I think that 3-5 penny and nickel 3-3 cub are the best defense to slow this down. But it's just the easiest gap shoot in the world. All you have to do is shift your defensive line towards the running back. So most people call it on the right side. So you're going to shift your D-line right, and you're just going to stand right here about in between the guard and the center. All right, and all you're going to do, you're just going to loop around, and then you just have the easiest gap shoot right there. The hole is open, and you're going to be able to cut out the legs of the ball carrier. Now, also something else I would recommend is having defensive heat seeker assist turned on in your coaching adjustments, just so that you can get these dive tackles a whole lot easier. You're basically just trying to suction the ball carrier before he can speed boost away and turn it into a big gain, right? So again, shift your defensive line, towards the running back, stand right here in the spot, about 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and in between the guard and the center. They take the snap, you loop around, and you meet that guy where he's either going to run right into you or he's going to run into the other players. You also want to meet him before he can get out to the edge, because of the offensive line, as we know, if they can seal the edge defender, right, they can let him get out into space. It can be really dangerous, but that's really why you have to nail this gap shoot. You have to make sure that you're able to loop around, you're standing in the right spot, and you're able to tackle that man really before he can speed boost away. So again, same spot, right here, 4 yards over the guard, halfback side, loop around. You just see how wide open that gap is. And as long as you're standing in the right spot, this is going to be a very routine gap shoot. And you're just pressing X on Xbox, square on PlayStation to dive tackle. You see how there's no one accounting for my user. I'm able to just loop right around and have the easiest tackle in the backfield before he can get out to the edge, before he can cut anything up. He's all the way on the ground, right? And so really what's going to happen, though, is your opponent's going to hit you with inside zone now. They're going to see that you're stopping their direct snap, and they're going to try to trick you, right, by going inside zone to the other side. The problem for them is you can still stop this inside zone run with the same look, because there's a flame icon over the head of your outside linebacker on the left, which means if you still loop around like this, he's just going to tackle him in the backfield every single time, even though your user was fooled, right? You could still loop around thinking it's halfback direct snap and they go inside zone, but it really doesn't matter. You loop around, but now you just click on and then you dive tackle with Van Ginkel on the edge, again, before they can speed boost away. That's really what's important with this defense, is tackling them before they speed boost, tackling them as soon as they touch the ball before they have an opportunity to do anything. So really, this defense from 3-3-5 penny, 4-3-3 cub, shifting your D-line towards the running back, really unlocks your ability to stop halfback direct snap by looping around and stop inside zone at the same time, because your outside linebacker comes in free. Alright, the reason you're still struggling on defense, though, might be because you're using the wrong settings and you don't understand what they do. Let me show you the best ones to use right now. Alright, so these are going to be in your game options. You pause the game, you go down to options, you come to gameplay helpers. The ones that I want to break down here, like I mentioned in the last segment, defensive heat seeker assist. Alright, this is going to help you get those suction dive tackles that you just saw in the previous segment, versus if you turn it off, it's going to be harder to get those. The game's not going to assist you to cut the legs out of the ball carrier in the same way. So make sure you have this on. Switch stick delay, you need to make sure you have this on none, alright? I'm going to put mine on moderate right here just so I can show you the difference. But it's like, we know that the switch stick is the most important thing for you on defense, right? And so really, if you decide to turn your switch to delay on to moderate or slight, you're just gonna notice how this is gonna happen, where I'm trying to switch stick around, but it's almost like there's a huge delay on my switches. It really feels horrible. You guys necessarily might not be able to see it, but it's like I'm having to flick this right stick. So like, it's just so bad. You see there's a wide open touchdown on the field simply because my user's out of position because I have switch stick delay turned on to moderate. You see right here, I'm flicking the right stick right now. And then you see how my user does this weird like whiff animation, and eventually I get clicked onto this man right here, and then I'm able to get on the next guy. But it's like, and I even think Harrison Smith did it too, where he kind of, whiffs a little bit here. Like, yeah, look at the end right there, he kind of whiffs. So it's like, you want to make sure that you come into these settings right here, come into options, come into settings, right? You want to make sure you come into game options, and you scroll all the way down until you find switch stick delay, and make sure this is on none. You want that right stick to move as quickly as possible. Boom, boom, boom. Like, this is so much better, right? There's no delay on my switches. I'm able to get onto the right guy, take stuff away really quickly, then move on to the next thing and take that away. So really having your switch stick delay on none is going to make sure that your switch stick is as good as possible, which, as we know, is the name of the game. But then if we come down in here into our zone drop settings, which are part of coaching adjustments too, these are really important. What I would recommend personally for a lot of you guys is default 5, default for most of the game. The reason why this is going to work is because you're going to be able to defend the underneath a whole lot better, right? So if they put this man on a flat, you just notice how instead of what all these creators are going to tell you, use 10-yard flats, they don't guard anything. Like, you could just throw a flat right at a 10-yard flat, a flat route at a 10-yard flat, he's not going to guard it. But if you put them on 5 instead, now these guys are just they're gonna backpedal, but they're still here to take this away and throw a pick 6. So you're gonna be able to take away the underneath without really having to do anything with your user, right? And so if they were to call a corner route now instead, right, they have a shriek corner out, right? They have basically a flood concept. You can still user the corner route. You could still get out here and user this man while your 5-yard flat takes away the underneath. So that's something that so many people struggle with, is actually defending the underneath. But it's like, it's just going to be really easy when you actually put 5-yard flats in the field, call cover 3 or cover 4 defense, and now you're just going to be able to take it away. So really, those are the best zone drops and defensive settings that you need to make sure that you're using. Turning off switch stick delay, making sure you have heat seeker assist turned on to make those dive tackles, and then using the correct zone drop settings to defend the underneath pass. Alright, so if you found those first 2 defensive tips helpful here in Madden 26, make sure you go down below, hit that subscribe button. I'm the only one right now breaking down Madden 26 tips and tricks for you guys every single day, and you don't want to miss out on any of the content that I have. But if you want all 5 of these tips in written form, including the first 2 I showed you and the 3 more to come, to save on your phone during gameplay so you never lose access to this information and you don't have to go scrubbing through videos, go to the link down below in the pinned comment to join Madden University today, where you're going to get your first month for only $1. It's really a no-brainer, and it's going to transform the way you're able to play defense here in Madden 26. You also get premium access to ask me any question, Discord at any time, and it's really a no-brainer. So what are you thinking? Go down below, join today, and let's jump right back into the video. Because the next thing that I want to show you is a way to get instant quarterback sacks by user locking before the play. Let me show you what I mean. Alright, so if I come into nickel 3-3 load mug, I come into cover 3 cloud, and I scroll until I find the left hybrid 3-man custom stunt. Alright, really that's when this becomes the most effective user locking. Although you can user lock from a whole lot of different formations, and it makes your blitzes just better overall. But what you're going to notice is I'm going to come right here over this center, and I'm going to stand here, I'm going to press D-pad up, then I'm going to press right trigger, and I'm going to hold left stick down. Essentially, this is locking my user in place, because if I hold right trigger and left stick down at the same time without pressing D-pad up, I'm just going to get called for offsides for running into the center. But D-pad up locks my user in place, and now I'm going to be able to get a turbo engage with the center, just running at him immediately. And so really this is going to be the most valuable for this blitz. I'm going to show you why. So we're going to take this snap, I'm going to spam A, and you just notice how we have a 3-on-2 advantage now on that left side of the offensive line. simply because my user was able to occupy the center. So we look at it again right here, boom. This man right here, my user, right, 51, gets the attention of 52, the center. And now look at this. 3 defensive players, 2 offensive linemen. They let Van Ginkel come in free, and we're able to wreak havoc. But also notice how I'm back into coverage immediately with my user because I'm spamming A. I'm spamming A as soon as I get onto that center to disengage with them. And so now I'm able to get back into coverage, take away their dig route, take away their return route from the running back, or whatever they have on the field on that given play. So really, user locking is what allows you to guarantee, or close to guarantee, as long as you stand in the right spot, that you're getting the attention of the center. So again, D-pad up, right trigger, left stick down, take the snap, spam the A button, get off the block, and then once again, you see how Van Ginkel is able to come in free. Now, not to say that this particular blitz, for example, this stunt wouldn't work, but you're just going to notice how if I don't user lock, for example, now the center slides over to block, and so now they have all day to throw, basically, and now we're solely relying on sheds. So it's like user locking and getting the attention of the center, it's what's going to allow for this stunt to be as good as possible to be able to create the advantage, the overload advantage on that left side. So again, D-pad up, right trigger, left is down, take the snap, get off the block, and then we're quickly able to get that pressure. Like I said, you're able to do this from a lot of other defenses, Cub, double mug, single mug. You can do this from basically every defense in the game, but it's most effective when you're able to obviously have a blitz, an overload blitz, where you have more linemen on the side, they have blockers. You're going to occupy the center, create a 3-on-2 or 4-on-3 advantage on one side, and then you're able to see though right here where that's a unique thing that can happen too, is where they let you come in free. And so that's something I'm going to touch on too. Is like, okay, I'm trying to get the attention center, but he doesn't want to block me. He's tired of letting those guys come in free on the other side, so now I just run in free. If he lets you come in free, you don't turn around. You just go get the quarterback, and it's just going to be an easy sack. So really, user locking, the best technique right here that's super underrated, not used enough to get way faster pressure on the quarterback. All right, before I jump to those final 2 tips, I wanted to remind you to hit that subscribe button. Like I said, I've won my last 9 CFM games using these tips, and if you actually watch every single video, you're going to start having results like that. So make sure you watch every video and you're subscribed to this channel. Let's jump to those final 2 tips. All right, next I want to show you a super underrated defensive mini scheme that's able to get really quick pressure on the quarterback and stop the run at the same time. Let me introduce you to dime 2-3 odd. All right, so we're going to come into dime 2-3 Sam here. Sorry, and that's not odd. It's Sam here in the Vikings playbook, but we're coming to free safety zone blitz, all right? And really what you're going to notice how this is going to be obviously a free safety zone blitz. And so really the setup here that I would like to use is hard flat, right? My slot corners here. So put both those guys in hard flats. Take my user and stand directly right here over the center. Now, you're not turbo engaging. You're not user locking with this particular blitz, really just because you don't need to. All you're really trying to do is turn this center inside to get him to double team a little, like for a second, right? So you're going to see right here, boom, take it, turn him inside. And so what you're going to notice is either one, we're going to get our pass rusher to shed, which you don't necessarily want to rely on. But because you turned him inside 62, because you turned 62 inside, what you're going to notice is that now he goes to block this guy. He goes to block number 0, the linebacker, and then that's what allows for Harrison Smith to come through the same gap. You notice how the linebacker and Harrison Smith are basically running through the same gap, and so he comes late, and he comes late enough to where he's just going to fly right in free. A 5-man rush against a 5-man protection, it's just a delayed rush that's super, super effective. So again, turn him inside, and then that's just what allows Harrison Smith to come in delayed. He really is on a delayed rush, but he still gets there in time to allow for us to take away a lot of their underneath passes, whatever route concept they have. So really, that's why the most important thing with your user this time is not actually, getting the attention of the offensive line, getting engaged in blocks, going to rush the quarterback. You just want to take away their quick reads because you know you have pressure coming like a second later. So boom, take it, turn these guys inside. Harrison Smith is able to come through, and that time we get a shed. So if you get sheds, obviously before he comes in free, that's even better for you. But really, there's nothing that they're going to be able to do unless they start using different protection, which a lot of the time is they're going to have to block their running back, right? No half slide is really going to be able to, half slide, full slide is really going to be able to count for this simply because it's coming late. It's just he's blitzing by the time, you know, all of these guys have already set into their blocks. They've already engaged with the offensive line. They've already engaged with their blockers. And so now he's coming in, you know, behind him, the safety. So if they block their running back, he's going to create make it to where they can actually block this, right? Because the running back will step up. But you notice how right there, a guy comes in clean, and then the running back has no chance because he just gets overpowered at the point of attack. Number 4 gets pushed into the quarterback. We also get another shed. So it's like they block the running back, they don't block the running back. It's going to be tough for them to actually be able to pick up a delayed safety blitz. But also, what you're going to notice and what you're going to say is, BLT, this is terrible run defense. They can just call inside zone whenever they want to, and they're going to have, you know, a huge lane, right? Because you're standing right here with your user. And so that's not going to be great run defense. Look at that cutback lane, right? And honestly, you would probably be right. Right, this just isn't the greatest run defense, especially against inside runs, simply because you're not standing in a great spot to actually stop the run with your user. So if they catch you off guard, it's going to be tough. Really though, all you have to do is change it up. Now you just stand inside the butt of the defensive tackle, and there's going to be a flame icon over the head of that, there's going to be a flame icon over the head of your defensive tackle or your user, which you now see it right here, which means as soon as the ball snaps, I'm just walking in free. Essentially, the most important thing is standing directly inside of this guy to make sure that the offensive line has, like, they can't block him. There's 2 guys standing at the same spot. No one targets my user, and so then I'm just able to come in completely clean to stop the run. So it's from the same defensive look. I'm just changing up where I'm standing, especially if I, you know, am anticipating a run. So you see how right here I'm standing directly inside the butt of this guy, and so you see how that time they called inside zone going from right to left. Now they're going to change it up, go from left to right, and you're going to see how it's the same thing where this time they block my user, and so they let the defensive tackle come in free. So really, that's the best automatic run defense here from dime 2-3 Sam, dime 2-3 odd, dime 3-2. All it works from all of this. Just come right here, stand directly inside the butt of your defensive tackle, and when they call inside zone, base, draw, a whole bunch of different inside breaking runs, you're just going to be there. So really, this defensive formation has a safety blitz and it has automatic run defense, which is what makes it super overpowered. And that last defensive trick that I want to break down for you is actually a way to stop corner routes every single time. They're the most annoying and nauseating route to play against, but let me show you the best defense to shut them down. Alright, so we're going to call cover 6 here from any defensive, you know, formation in the game. But the most important thing that you need to make sure you have is all 3 zone drop depths on default. If you don't have all 3 zone drop depths on default, your match coverage will not play correctly. It will turn into cover 2 on one side, cover 4 on the other, just like in this case. That's every match play in the game, so you have to have all 3 on default, so just keep that in mind. But you're going to notice how they're going to call a flood concept here, street corner flat. But we're easily going to be able to take it away because Harrison Smith is going to latch onto that corner route. Our quarter flat is going to take away their table route, and then our outside quarter is going to take the streak. We're just passing these routes off beautifully. You see how we're dropping into zone coverage, but then as soon as he breaks, now Harrison Smith latches onto it, and he would have carried that all the way out to the sideline if the quarterback wasn't hit before he threw, right? And you're also able to see how, boom, we take away this backside dig, table route, and then we also are able to take away this backside dig, bracket this, boom, and then we have a guy right here wherever they want to throw it. So essentially, this is the best, one of the best quick snap plays in the game. Why sale? But when you actually start running match coverage, you are able to easily take it away, right? I'm using a defensive lineman, and we're still going to guard this like every single time. You really just need players that, I mean, just look at that. Like, the pressure gets home before I even am able to get rid of the ball, right? So we go through it again, boom, take it, cancel the drawback, step up. Like, I mean, it's just sack, sack, sack. Like, we're doing a great job of taking stuff away. No one's open. There's really nowhere to throw. We look at it again, where, boom, this vert hook takes away this hitch. Boom, easy. We're able to take away this, double team it, right? Easy. Corner out, easy. Table route, guarded. Like, flood concept. One of the best route concepts in the game, easily shut down by a match coverage-based defense. And it really doesn't matter if they change up the corner out where it's coming from, right? They change up, maybe go to the other side, maybe motion the running back over, put this man on a table route, right? Which you're going to see how it's going to be something very similar, right? Because now you just have cover 2 on that side and you're able to take it away. right? So again, we take this down. You always want to be ready to switch stick if you need to. Boom, you're able to see it, but we're just able to easily take that away. Our guy runs out there to defend the table route. We're able to take it with a corner out with our vert hook, and then our safety is able to take away this. That reason why I switch stick was just in case, to make sure everyone was taking everything away, but boom, taken away, you're guarded, and then you're guarded over the top, and then obviously Harris Smith still over here to take away this corner route. So really, cover 6, the best and most complete defense, match coverage to be able to stop those deep corners, crossers, posts, really anything they call, because you're starting out in zone, and then you're able to latch onto their routes down the field and lock them down from man coverage. Alright, so if you enjoyed any of those 5 defensive tips here in Madden 26, make sure you go down below, hit that subscribe button. I'm the only one right now breaking down Madden 26 tips and tricks, and I guarantee your pass defense and overall defense is going to get better with every video you watch. But if you want all 5 of these tips in written form to save on your phone, you can go to the link down below in the pinned comment to join Madden University, where your first month's only going to be $1. Please don't let $1 be the reason your defense is still absolutely horrible here in Madden 26. You can ask me any question you want at any time in Discord, and it's really the best way that players are getting better right now. But if you want to see 5 tips to help your offense here in Madden 26, check out this video right here. I'll see you over there. Peace.